Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you to Senator Cornyn and to our distinguished panel and to our colleagues for being here today. The Subcommittee on Energy, Natural Resources, and Infrastructure will now come to order. I want to thank our witnesses for traveling here today. We've convened to discuss an incredibly important topic, natural gas, and specifically the use of natural gas as a transportation fuel in the United States. As most know, the country has undergone a dramatic change in our domestic energy picture over the last decade. Thanks to innovations in the drilling processes, our domestic production of natural gas has quadrupled since 2005. That's good for jobs, good for energy security, and when natural gas is produced responsibly, it also can be good for the environment. And I want to spend just a moment on that at the outset because it's an important point. I'm a firm believer that we can produce natural gas safely and in a way that protects drinking water, air quality, and adjacent communities. The State of Colorado has led the way in establishing a robust regulatory regime for natural gas production, from first-in-the-nation standards that dramatically reduced fugitive methane emissions all the way to the innovative Clean Air, Clean Jobs Act that's led to increased natural gas usage in Colorado's power plants. This law and the associated fuel switching and efficiency targets will lead to sizable reductions in both criteria emissions and carbon pollution, which are two of the biggest environmental advantages of using more natural gas in power generation and transportation. More important, these initiatives were broadly supported both by the industry and by the environmental community. On this topic, like many others, I think that Washington would do well to learn a lesson from how we work together in Colorado. While various aspects of natural gas have been discussed in front of the Energy and Environmental Committees, we're here today to discuss natural gas as a transportation fuel. There's a huge opportunity to grow this market. It's amazing to me that over 40% of the country's public buses are currently powered by alternative fuels or blends. We've seen this happen in Colorado. Weld County Public Works has recently converted many of their cargo vans and snow plows and school buses to natural gas. They predict this will save the school district $100,000 a year and will reduce emissions of smog-producing pollutants. As we'll hear today, this committee can do more to help this growing industry. Specifically, we can level the playing field on excise taxes on natural gas so it's not taxed at a higher rate than diesel. Senators Burr, Hatch, and I have a bill that would do just that. It passed this committee, and the full Senate during our consideration of the highway bill was stripped out of the House before final passage. The Finance Committee also has jurisdiction over a variety of alternative fuel tax credits, specifically the 50-cent per gallon equivalent credit for selling natural gas as a transportation fuel, a credit that has expired, and the 30% credit for the installation of new natural gas refueling equipment, which also has expired. Our tax laws are critical to the development of the new infrastructure needed to aid the growth of these vehicles and to exploit the potential of this domestic resource. Both of these credits were included in the Expire Act that passed the Finance Committee with bipartisan support. I would prefer, and I know that many in the Senate would too, that we move back to the bipartisan legislation that moved through this committee over 6 months ago. But in the meantime, we should pass the Senate Finance Committee bill, including the natural gas vehicle provisions, and get down to the hard work of tax reform. As we do this, it's important that Congress understands the growing natural gas vehicle industry and its positive effect on our economy, national security, and our environment. Once again, I want to thank our panel for being here and tell you that we are looking forward to your testimony and turn it over to Senator Cornyn for his opening remarks. Thank you.